After 20 years of modeling and acting in both TV and film, Garcelle Beauvais has proven she is one of the few mainstays in Hollywood. The Haitian-American actress has starred in leading roles in films like Flight alongside Denzel Washington. It's likely you also saw her in White House Down with Jamie Foxx and Channing Tatum. Born in Haiti, Garcelle moved to the United States at the age of 7 with her mother and siblings. In 2010, a massive earthquake hit Haiti. It devastated millions of lives. Garcelle felt the pain of her home nation. So she used her celebrity spotlight to bring media attention to the need for support. Since then, she's been actively giving back. Most recently, she traveled to Haiti, partnering with a nonprofit organization called Fonds. It offers financial and development services to help Haitian women succeed. She's joining us to share more about the ongoing recovery efforts in Haiti and the resilience of the Haitian community. Garcelle, we want to welcome you to Full Frame. So great of you to come in.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, what a transition. I want to talk about Haiti, where it is today and what happened to it. But I want to talk about you first. What a transition to come from Haiti to the United States at such a young age. What was that like?
It was surreal. I thought my mom had lost her mind because in Haiti, it's tropical. It's 90 degrees, at night. And we moved to Massachusetts in the dead of winter. I didn't speak a word of English. I hadn't really seen a lot of white people. So I was like, what is going on? And what an adjustment. I mean, I couldn't go to school right away. I actually watched Sesame Street in order to learn enough English to go to school. So I would, stay home and go A, apple, B, banana, and really learned English through Sesame Street, and then went to school and immersed myself in the culture and everything.
PBS is going to lift that now and use that in a promo. You've already given them great fodder. That's amazing.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
So when did the acting bug hit you? I mean, was it early on or?
I didn't know I wanted to be an actress. I really wanted to do journalism is what I thought. But even as a young age, I would perform for my family, and I'd make them sit down, and I'd perform and sing and dance, and then I'd go around with a hat and get money from them, and my brother never gave me any. He was the cheapest one in the bunch. So I think it was always in me, but I didn't realize that you could actually do that for a living.
I met a lot of journalists who'd returned after the earthquake and talked to them, and the power of what they witnessed, and the way they described it, it was, you could look here and see horror. You could look here. You didn't really need. In fact, they used to get so agitated, these journalists, because people would say, well, you need to go cover this. They're like, you don't get it. I can turn anywhere and find an amazing story. Right. So journalists came back impacted, but this is your home nation.
This is
so
my
talk
home.
to me about when you heard, what the impact was, and then that feeling of wanting to do something.
Well, I remember my kids, my little boys, were in preschool. And it was the type of when they first go, you sit and you stay around until they don't need you anymore so that you can separate. So I remember sitting in the yard, watching them play with other kids, and I get a text. And I looked down, they said there was an earthquake in Haiti. And I was like, and my heart just sank. And I said, how, what's the rating, what's the, magnitude? And then I got the second text, I said it was a 7.0. Right then and there, I knew that it couldn't be good, that's going to be devastating. And we were already, Haiti's really had a tough go at it for decades and centuries. So for something like this to happen, where you never really thought about earthquakes in Haiti, I never thought about it. Do you know what I mean? We never talked about earthquakes, so it's nothing like people were prepared for or knew about or, build foundations, to sort of support that. So I knew it was just really bad. And then my sisters started texting because they had, we have family in Haiti, and how is everybody? And it was, from what I heard, the sound was like a bomb went off. And just houses were just collapsing as if they were made out of paper.
When you think about the infrastructure there, it's just not where it needs to be. And then trying to communicate at any time of a disaster, it doesn't matter where it is.
Right.
Talk to me about that not knowing.
Not knowing is the biggest fear of all, because you thinking the worst. Are they under rubble? Did they escape? And, I had an aunt who couldn't leave. And, it's just, you just can't imagine it. You just can't imagine that something so bad could happen to this little island that I love so much and I'm so proud of, to know that so many people have died. And in a way, I think it helped put Haiti on the map for a lot of people who didn't know. If I said, I'm from Haiti, they'd go, oh, Tahiti. And I'm like, no, Haiti. And so in a way, it put Haiti on the map because a lot of people started sort of discovering it. And when George Clooney did the telethon with Larry King and all these amazing people, they raised so much money. And I think that's when people started realizing that Haiti does exist. And even though the Dominican Republic gets a lot more press, you know, we're just right next door, we're neighbors. So it was just really just devastating.
Imagery on television never really captures what's real, but it also, for somebody who doesn't know, that's got to be really jarring too, because it looks like it's just devastation. It's a sea of devastation.
Right. You just think it's all gone. I mean, from the images you saw on CNN, it was just, there was no hope, really. It seemed like there would be no hope.
So how does it translate, seeing it on television and then seeing it in reality? I mean, because you go, what was that like?
Just, you can't imagine that anything good would come out of it, honestly. It just felt like it was just, that's it, it's done, it's over. And, but what's amazing about Haitians, my people, is that they're very prideful, they're very strong and resilient, and still smiling through it, and still hopeful, and knowing that things are going to be okay. When you look at it, you're going, there's no way it's going to be okay. Absolutely no way. But yet, they're singing and, you know, cleaning up as much as they can and keeping their little, even if it's just the space around them, keeping it neat, keeping it clean, and just helping one another. It was really, I mean, all the emotions you could go through, from crying to despair to hope to seeing the kids. And, you know, and for me, I felt like a lot of people were coming to help build restructure. And I felt like emotionally, spiritually, that people needed, because you can never forget what you've seen.
Or live through. I mean, it's
right.
You mentioned the resiliency. These are people, hardy people, prideful people, as you mentioned. Are you surprised at the resilience and that kind of ability to, we're going to come back? We're just going to come back?
No, because there's a lot of faith base that comes from, you know, we're very spiritual, religious, if you will, for some. And we believe that no matter what, that it's going to get better, no matter what. And I think that's what they hold on to, you know, the spiritual God and faith. Faith is huge. And I think that's what helped, you know, people's resilience.
So track it for me early on to today. I mean, what kind of a transition have you seen?
I went back in February with Foncouzé, and there's still a lot of things that need to be done, but it was definitely much better. Definitely, the roads are being paved, businesses are going back up, schools are being built, and definitely there's room for growth, and I don't want people to forget, because we still need a lot more help, but it's doing really well.
There's disappointment, though, I would imagine, on your part, because there was a piece I saw recently where it's almost like helicopter. There was a lot of money funneled towards Haiti, where it was almost helicopters just dump it. You know, that people really, and I want you to talk about this because of your Haitian heritage. That there was annoyance that the Haitians themselves weren't involved in the process. You know, the money was going in there, and they were just, a lot of time, in many cases, they were doing the wrong things, weren't they?
It's politics. I mean, it's politics. There's a lot of red tape. I mean, if I was running the place, get the money to the people. You know, and I think there's a lot of red tape. So when you have that, you know, there's a lot of, not resistance, but it takes a while to get to the people. And to me, I think when there's devastation like that, get it to the people as quickly as possible. Who cares about the politics? Who cares about the government? Really, it's the people that you want to rebuild. And that's where the frustration comes from. And that's where I think people, with all the money that was raised, they didn't get it right away. Right. And to this day, I feel like they didn't really get it.
No, it seems like it got dispersed in the bureaucracy itself.
Exactly.
Which just has to be very frustrating.
It is, but Haiti's been dealing with this for centuries. I mean, it's always been this way, and I think, in a way, that's what's kept us behind.
What's your dream for Haiti?
Oh, my God. My dream for Haiti would be that everybody has electricity, running water, food, jobs, schools. I mean, it's a beautiful country with beautiful people in it. And it's just a shame that we're not able to show how we can shine. And I think that's where the world is missing out.
I don't want to leave without talking about what's in front of us here. You're an author, acclaimed author. You have some of the youngest readers in America. They don't have to watch Sesame Street. They can learn from you. Talk to me about the books. And are your kids your toughest critics, or do they help you at all?
They are critics. When we love to read, and when they were little, we would go to bookstores and libraries and stuff like that. And I could never really find any books where, you know, they saw characters that look like them or celebrated diversity. My kids are half Irish, half Haitian, and
so they're half in therapy, right?
yeah, exactly. They will be in therapy for something, I'm sure, something I've done wrong. And so I had this idea, and I thought, what do I do with this? And so one day we're at the park. My kids are playing with this other little boy, and so like most parents, you strike up a conversation with the parents that your kids are playing with. So Sebastian and I started talking, and halfway through I said, so what do you do? And he said, I'm a publisher, and I do comic books, but I just published my first kids book. And I thought, okay, this is a sign. I was going through my divorce, and I'm like, okay. So a couple of weeks later, I emailed him. I said, can we get together? And we sat, and we talked, and we got along, and it was great, and we came up with the I Am book series. So the first book is I Am Mix, which celebrates what makes you what makes you different, what makes you who you are. And I didn't want my kids to have to choose, am I white, am I black? I want them to embrace what makes them them, and it's half of each. And the second one went through my divorce is I Am Living in Two Homes for kids who go back and forth. And it's really about letting them know that it's not their fault, that no matter what, we're still a family unit, and to love and respect the family. And the third one that's coming out next month is I Am Awesome. And that just celebrates what makes you awesome, whether it's not afraid of being in the dark or helping a friend who's being teased. Just, really stories that start conversations between parents, because I think that's important.
Well, let's leave it there because I think you are awesome. And I appreciate everything you're doing, and I'm sure the people of Haiti do as well, and these children who are learning so much. Thanks again for coming in.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it.